Welcome back everyone. So in today's session, we are going to look at solutions of first slot arithmetic questions from CAT 2018. Okay, so let us move on to the live solutions. First question. A trader sells 10 liters of a mixture of paints A and B, where the amount of B in the mixture does not exceed that of A. That means, first of all, B is never greater than A. That means it is either less or equal to A, whereas A plus B equal to 10. So what are the possible cases in this scenario? To make this a mixture, it cannot be A cannot be 10 and B cannot be 0. Otherwise, it will not be a mixture. Correct. So A 9, B 1. I am considering only integer values 8, 2, 7, 3, 6, 4, and lastly 5, 5. Okay. The cost of paint A per liter is rupees 8 more than that of paint B. So A equal to B plus 8. Okay. If the trader sells the entire mixture for rupees 264 and makes a profit of 10%. So selling price for all 10 liters of mixture is 264. Correct, which is obviously equal to profit plus cost price. Whereas profit is 10% of cost price. That means it is total 1.1 times of cost price. Correct, because this is profit is nothing but 10% of cost price. That means 0.1 CP. Correct. So solving this, you can get cost price equal to 264 divided by 1.1, which comes out to be 240 for 10 liters. That means the mixture was sold at 24 rupees per liter. Correct. So mixture of A and B was sold at rupees 24 per liter. To maximize the value of B, I have to maximize the amount of B in that mixture. Okay, for B to be 1 liter, 2 liter, 3 liter, 4 liter, I cannot get the maximum value of B at 24 rupees per liter, the value of mixture. Correct. And if A is equal to B plus 8 and B is equal to 8, this is possible only in the case of 1 is to 1 car ratio. Correct. It will be possible only if it is 4 is to 4. Correct. Otherwise, it is not possible. Whereas the average value, this value is exactly in the middle of values of A and B. Obviously, B का value आएगा 20 and A का value आएगा 28. Correct. आप 1, 2, 3, 4 liters के लिए check कर सकते हो. You cannot get the value of B greater than 20. Next question. So this is a time split distance का question. Distance from A to B is 60 kilometers. A to B is 60 kilometers. Partha and Narayan starts from A at the same time and move towards B. So P and N are moving towards B and started at the same time. Partha takes 4 hours more than Narayan to reach B. So let us assume Narayana takes N hours. So Partha takes N plus 4 hours. Correct. Moreover, Partha reaches the midpoint of A and B 2 hours before Narayan reaches B. So at what time Narayan is reaching B? Nth hour. Correct. After n hours from the starting point, from the starting time, Narayana reaches B. That means इसके 2 hours पहले Partha is reaching at the mark of 30th kilometers, which is n minus 2, and moving at the he is continuously moving at the same speed to reach the end mark, which is still 30 kilometers away after 6 hours, because he is reaching the end B point at n plus 4 time. That means to cover distance of 30 kilometers, Partha takes 6 hours. Therefore, its speed will be 5 kilometers per hour. Very easy question. So this was actually asked in CAT 2018 slot 1. Okay. So you just have to pick the easier questions. Okay. So last question for the day. When they work alone, this is a time and question. When they work alone, B needs 25% more time to finish a job than A does. So let us assume the time required by A to finish 1 unit of work is A days. Similarly, time taken by B is B days. Correct. Whereas B equal to 5 by 4 A. 25% more than A. That means A plus 25% more matlab A by 4, which is 5 by 4 A. Okay. They too finish the job in 13 days. Complete work of 1 unit was completed in 13 days in the following manner. A alone works till half of the job is done. Okay. So इसमें से 50% is completed by A alone. A and B work together for 4 days. Okay. So A plus B work together for 4 days. I don't know what amount of job was done over here in those 4 days. And finally, B works alone to complete the remaining 5%. Correct. So at the end, B works alone to complete the remaining 5%. Correct. I don't know how many days are taken by B alone, A alone. But I do know that the work done by A and B together was 45% of the work done. Correct. 45% of the total work. That means amount of work done by A in 1 day is 1 by A. Amount of work done by B in 1 day is 1 by B. They have worked together for 4 days. That means contribution of A is 4 by A, contribution of B is 4 by B to complete 0.45 part of 1 unit of work. Correct? 45% of 1 unit is nothing but 0.45. अभी मुझे निकालना क्या है? In how many days can B alone finish the entire job? Just replace this A by B. क्या आएगा? If B equal to 5 by 4A, A equal to 4 by 5B, which is 4 upon 4B into 5 plus 4 upon B equal to 45 upon 100. So this gives me 900 upon 45 equal to number of days taken by B, which comes out to be 20. Correct? So these are the level of questions asked in CAT 2020. Plus pick the right question. Okay guys, thank you.